In today's video for Alpha Universe, I'm going to show you how I turn this boring corner of my studio into a beautiful space to film my YouTube videos. Welcome back, my name is Miguel Quiles. I recently moved into a new studio and I wanted to create a space to film my sit-down videos that had the feel of a nice home office. I started out by bringing in my wood desk and placing it a few feet away from the wall, knowing that I would be putting some items in the background. Speaking of background items, I ended up placing this wood shelf behind me so that I could have a place to put some items and create some depth within the scene. To keep things simple, I ended up putting my PlayStation LED lights along with some additional items to add some visual interest to this area. Now, if you look at the scene so far, everything is weighed pretty heavily to the left side of the scene, so I ended up putting this vintage looking light on the opposite side. It's doing double duty here, as it's not only adding some visual interest to the background, but it's also adding a little bit of a separation light. Looking at what we have so far, the scene still feels a little bit bland, so I ended up putting a fake tree on each side of the frame to add some more dimension to the background and again continue to give off that natural vibe. The set is coming together perfectly, but with the overhead lights on in my studio, everything looks yellow and gross. We're going to finesse this shot even more by turning off the room lights and adding two constant lights to our scene. The first light that I'm adding is a Nanlite FS300 LED, which is being softened by this large softbox. This is the main light that's illuminating me in this video. I added a grid to it so that I could control the direction of the light and ensure that it would only light me up for this video. You can see that this already looks a lot better than the shot that we had with the overhead lights, but we can make things even better. I'm going to add an additional light. This time it's a Godox VL300 that's being modified by this optical spotlight. You can add these little gobos that have custom shapes cut into them to display a particular pattern of light onto the background. I opted to go with this gobo that simulates the shape of a window to light up my background and create some more visual interest in the scene. This looked pretty good to me, but I wanted to have something in the foreground as well to add a little bit more depth to the scene. I ended up placing a small plant here in the corner and a candle to finish off the look. To film this video, I'm using the Sony FX9 with a 35mm f1.4 G Master lens. Since I'm shooting at f1.4, it gives this really beautiful defocus background, and the eye autofocus feature keeps me sharp as I move around and I talk to the camera. For the audio, I boomed a Rode NTG3 shotgun microphone just outside of the frame, and I connected it via the XLR port on the FX9. I also connected a computer monitor that I had here at my studio to use it as an external monitor to make sure that everything is looking good while I film my videos. Hopefully this gives you some inspiration to help you in creating your own space for filming your videos. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and while you're there, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as we have new videos releasing all the time. Now, if you want to learn more about filmmaking and creating content for YouTube, check out one of the videos that you see here on the screen. I'll see you there.